Good morning. It's Sunday, November 7th, and about 2 days ago, on Friday, I did a rant about Ed Durr, the truck driver who upset Steve Sweeney for the New Jersey State Senate seat that Sweeney had held for over 20 years. And I wondered about Ed Durr and how he won the election. But after him having won the election, it came out that this man is a xenophobe. He declared that Muhammad was a pedophile, that Islam is a false religion. Only fools follow the Muslim teachings. It's a cult of hate, he said. Of course, the things I'm telling you right now, he has apologized for since then, but he was taken down off Twitter also. Similar in nature to the way our former president was taken off. And also, his feelings about the January 6th insurrection are not far from Donald Trump's. He has claimed it was just a group of tourists that got a little bit excited and went into the Capitol. And then he's also declared that the mandate, very upsetting. And so I have to delve into how does one become a candidate. I found the information on a website. There's a lot of gobbledygook in this document that I'm reading from. Pursuant to the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, Article 4, Section 1, Paragraph 2, to qualify as a candidate for the office of New Jersey General Assembly, you must meet the following requirements. Okay, 21 years of age by the day of the swearing into office, a United States citizen, a resident of Jersey for 2 years as of the day of the general election, a resident of the legislative district for 1 year as of the day of general election, a legal voter by the day the petition is filed. Simple enough, right? Then there's a petition that must be signed, and it has to have witnesses' signatures on it also. But it doesn't say how many people have to be on this petition. And this petition must be notarized. Okay, so you get past all of that, and then you have to sign the oath of allegiance. And the oath of allegiance must be notarized. And then the candidate must sign a certificate of acceptance. I don't know what he's accepting, but he has to sign a certificate of acceptance. And he also must sign a disclosure statement of criminal conviction, or non-conviction, I guess. If you haven't been convicted, then whatever it is. And it says these signatures and everything, there must be at least 100 registered voters who sign a signature sheet for him. So then you have that batch of information, and then you have to sign a request for a slogan. You're allowed to have a slogan of 6 words or less for the slogan. So after you go through all of these particulars and documents that you submit in order to get on the ballot, it doesn't mention anything about vetting the person. Now, you would think in this day and age, with all of the social media that's out there, that part of this process should be a review of this man's thinking outside the box, because his posts are an indication of where his head is at. I don't necessarily condemn him for the things he posted on Twitter, etc., because I believe in the part of the country that he happens to be living in right now, more to the right than when Steve Sweeney was originally elected there. This is a region of the country that is down in the South Jersey part of it. And it's clear to me in the interviews that I watched in association with his victory and the story of the, I shall call them, very much like him. They look like hard-working, middle-class people. They don't look very professional, but then you're catching them on the street when they're not necessarily at work, so I have no way of knowing what their occupations really are. But I believe in looking at them and listening to them, they believe very much like he does. And what they're saying is give the guy a chance. So he made a couple of mistakes, so he said a few things in anger or something. Give him a chance because we believe he can do a good job. Well, you can say a lot of things in anger, but I believe that he stepped way out of line. When you bring religion into it, when you bring the Holocaust into it, you are touching nerve, my nerve. When you talk about Muhammad being a pedophile and Islam being a cult of killers, you've gone way over the line. You can think that. I mean, there are many of us who are not happy with the situation in the Middle East. Say it privately in a lot of places, but it shouldn't be out on Twitter. Because then I think you've crossed the line. 2 lines. It's a lack of intelligence with leaving all that stuff behind, especially if you're planning to run for office. I mean, you could have cleaned all that stuff up before you ran for office, but you probably thought you weren't going to win, so you didn't bother cleaning anything up. It's a very dicey situation. We all have our off-center feelings about some things, but you have to learn how to control them. It's very tough being straight and narrow these days with all the crap we deal with. Well, in any event, what I found out was it really isn't that hard to get on the ballot in New Jersey, and nobody's going to check your background as a matter of course. You win the election, then they're looking for things, when they should be doing all that work before the person takes up the time and effort of the people who run elections. Maybe he's qualified to do the job, but he's not qualified to overlook the inadequacies of people in my mind. So in any event, that's the story on Ed Durr, and it indicates that almost anybody in this country could run for some office. In fact, we had a president who wasn't vetted, and he lasted 4 years. And so that's all. I don't want to get into that whole nonsense now. That's all I have for today, and I will see you in the morning. Bye.